Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson, your host. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining us. So, I saw in the news last night that they're saying no mass gatherings, no large gatherings until 2021. Just posted yesterday on social media how much I miss going to the ballpark. Well, I guess I'm going to have to hold off a little bit longer to get out and check out my Dodgers. They may be starting without a crowd this year, but we're not going to be going to a baseball game here until 2021. It's rough. It's tough out there, but we're going to get through it. It is a gorgeous day here in Santa Clarita, another one. So make sure that you do get outside, stretch your legs, take a walk with the family. Maybe head on out, do some exercises in the backyards, but keep your social distancing. As I mentioned, no large gatherings. And who is excited about that? The Houston Astros. The Houston Astros, those cheaters who stole the World Series from the Dodgers in 2017, they're not going to have to put up with the raucous crowds throwing insults at them all season long. So, gosh, those guys have lucked out over and over and over and over, but they're still cheaters. Okay, it's not easy, but we've got this. We'll get through it, and we'll get through it stronger on the other side. We'll do that together, and that's why we're here. In the meantime, we've got your back while our campuses are closed and our students are at home. KHTS, in collaboration with SCVi and iLEAD Schools, brings you this special edition of Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. We are here to support the work that you're doing, to be there for you as you support your kids, maintaining the growth and learning. We're also here to help you take care of you. We come to you live each day at 9 a.m., providing support and updates for you on your distance learning journey. We're going to take the journey with you. We've got your back. And we're also continually curating and adding new resources for you on our website. Go to homeschoolinganswers.com. Homeschoolinganswers.com has got everything that you could need, from grade level materials, subject matter materials. There's some really cool math videos. I had a guest, I believe it was on Monday, Amber Soto, Director of Mathematics Instruction. She's putting up videos now every day on some really cool, deep understanding ideas that you can use for your kids in the areas of math. They're engaging videos that your kids can view and comment on, and there are times that she even asks you to post your videos explaining your answers. So head on over to homeschoolinganswers.com for that and much, much more. I am very excited about today's show. We've got a College of the Canyons theme running through the entire show. We're going to start out with Wendy Ruiz calling in. Wendy is the Early Childhood Education Programs Director for Little iLEADers Preschool here in Castaic. We'll also be talking with the Chancellor of College of the Canyons, Dr. Dianne Van Hook. We're also very excited that we will be welcoming in Rachael An, fourth grader from Pico Canyon Elementary School. She's going to be presenting the book report that she has prepared for us. And lastly, we'll be checking in with our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Christina DeBray, about how to cope with what's happening and the different stresses in our life. And I figured we'd take a fun look at this day in history. Today was a big day in history. It was a busy day, and it's going to be a busy day today. It's going to be fun, so let's get this party started. Our first guest today is Wendy Ruiz. Wendy has lived in the Santa Clarita Valley since 1995 with her husband Robert and their 3 boys. They are proudly one of SCVi Charter School's founding families way back in 2008. Her professional experience spans from working directly with children ages 12 weeks, the babies, all the way through 5 years, working as a program coordinator and curriculum specialist, to train staff and programs in the areas of open-ended curriculum, natural play spaces, and infant and toddler development, just to name a few. She was the director of infant and toddler programs for College of the Canyons Center for Early Childhood Education Lab School for 11 years, and is currently a full-time faculty member specializing in infant and toddler development and supervision of early childhood programs at College of the Canyons. And she has organized the WYOC Play Day for Children for over 10 years. She received her bachelor's in child development from California State University of Northridge and her master's degree in child development and child life from the University of Laverne. And she also throws the Valley's best ugly sweater Christmas party ever. Wendy, good morning. Welcome in.
Good morning, Matt.
It's good to
Nice
have
to
you.
hear from you.
Well, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. So, how did you first get into early childhood education? When and how did you get your start?
So I started back, when I was a teenager wanting to babysit, and I was a camp counselor. I just always loved being around children, and it was finally my family that encouraged me to get my degree in early childhood. And so it was back in '96, I got my degree and got my first job teaching 3 and 4 year olds. And I fell in love with it after that, and I continued to get my degree. And once I got my master's, then I jumped into the administration side and faculty at COC. So I just continue to fall in love and kind of grow with it.
Fantastic. And I know so many early childhood teachers and educators around this valley owe so much to you, the different trainings and mentorships that you've put together for so many over the last so many years. I mentioned in my intro that you and your family were one of SCVi's founding families back when our school opened in 2008. How did you find SCVi? Because you connected with us before we ever opened. And so how did you find us, and what attracted us, or what attracted you and your family to what was the Valley's first classroom-based charter school?
Well, I mean, I kind of think things happen for a reason. And so when I transferred to COC to be work in a classroom, I was in administration before that. And when I moved to COC, I moved into a preschool classroom position. And a lot of people kept saying, why don't you were assistant director and now you're going to work with 2-year-olds. And I think it was that 2-year-old classroom that kind of led me to my future now, because Amber Eskin was a parent in my classroom, my very first job at COC. And her daughter, Samantha, was in my toddler classroom. And she, at that point, the SCVi hadn't been opened. SCVi, I don't even know if was a vision yet at that point. And we just built a really great connection. I always believed in building strong connections with families, but sometimes you just build that extra connection.
Sure.
And with Amber, her and I just really built a strong connection. And she truly loved the philosophy that we modeled at CSC as far as, excuse me, play-based and child-centered and building strong connections. And so she reached out to me and said she knew that her daughter was going to be graduating out of preschool soon, and she wasn't comfortable putting her just into any traditional school or kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And so we met and we had a lot of conversations about how could she create this philosophy and this vision with K through 12. And she went off and kind of did her thing, and we didn't speak for a little bit, and every once in a while she'd come back and check in with me again. And next thing you knew, there was SCVi, and it was incredible. And just seeing her passion and her vision, it was hard not to follow her after that. And so when that school opened, I moved my son out of his school mid-year to SCVi, and the rest is history.
Wow, so it sounds like not only were you an early adopter as one of our first families, but it sounds like you also had a great amount of influence as to what direction our school took from those earliest days. I know you also served on SCVi's school board for several years, and now you work with iLEAD, the parents organization that oversees and supports SCVi. But you work with them as the director of early childhood education programs with Little iLeaders. Can you tell us a little bit more about Little iLeaders? This not really an extension of SCVi. It's its completely own program. So when did it open? Where is it? Can you tell us about Little iLeaders?
Yeah, so Little iLeaders was a vision that we've had for many, many years, and it just kind of made sense when SCVi offered this beautiful K-12 project-based learning program. It just made sense to have an early childhood component to it. And so it's just a dream that we've had for many years, but the dream came to fruition in 2017. In April, we were finally able to open our doors. And we're in the same parking lot. We're down in the same building as SCVi. We're just all the way down on the other side of Starbucks. And so, yeah, we opened in 2017. We've been going. We just celebrated 2 years.
Well, fantastic. And what ages do you serve?
We serve babies, 6 weeks and up. We take them as young as 6 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, I know families
Yeah.
sometimes do have that need to to drop off their youngest ones, and so that's great that you're there for them. And is there a particular pedagogy or philosophy of the program, or is it just kind of a daycare drop off and we'll hold your kid till you get back?
We definitely have a pedagogy or philosophy, and it's in line with SCVi or iLEAD schools for developmentally appropriate play-based. So we follow DAP or developmentally appropriate practices, truly play-based and child-centered. It's all about the child. It's about the whole child and meeting them exactly where they're at.
Well, fantastic. Well, Wendy, we do have to take a quick commercial break, but please hang on with us. We want to continue this conversation. We want to hear what it is that you're doing to help support your preschool families during this pandemic when our campuses are closed. We're talking with Wendy Ruiz, Early Childhood Education Programs Director for Little iLeaders Preschool. Like I said, we need to take a short commercial break, but we will continue our conversation with Wendy when we get back. Please stay tuned. You're listening to SCVi Charter Schools Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson, on your hometown station, KHTS.
I never thought I'd be looking for an assisted living home until Mom got sick. Suddenly, there were questions that I didn't have answers to, and only limited time to find the answers. What facility could take the best care of Mom? Then my mother's social worker gave me a brochure for assisted living locators and informed me that Assisted Living Locators is recommended by more healthcare professionals than any other agency.
Call Shannon at Assisted Living Locators, 544-1004. That's 544-1004.
Dutton Plumbing, this is Eric.
Son, it's Mother. I was calling to let you know I just bought 10 cases of water for me and Eunice. We tried shoving it into the pantry, but it won't fit. Can you tell me where to shove it?
Never mind the water bottles, Mom. I just installed that new Dutton Plumbing water filtration system for you, remember? Our water filtration systems actually produce bottled quality water out of every faucet in the house, even your shower. So you'll never run out of pure, clean water again.
That's great, son. When are you installing it?
Mom, it's already installed.
I better call Eunice. She could really use a water filtration system. She drinks a lot of water, and she also pees a lot.
Mom!
DuttonPlumbing.com. Dutton Plumbing's water filtration systems remove all harmful chemicals in your water and protects your health. Never run out of pure, clean water again. Right now, save on Dutton's water filtration system. Learn more at DuttonPlumbing.com.
Your building sign is essential to getting customers to your location. Feathers can help you get your business noticed. Feathers, now in a new, larger space with plenty of parking. They walk you through each phase of your project with special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will provide you with a sign that you can be proud of. Your sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Visit Feathers online at feathersigns.com or go to Feathers' brand new, bigger location at 26017 Huntington Drive off Rye Canyon or call 298-9442.
Hi, this is Bob Schertz with the Way Out Recovery SCV, reminding you that during these unprecedented times, addiction and mental health do not take a break. If you or someone you love are struggling, please give us a call at 661-296-4444. We are open and here to help you during this time. Thanks.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 on the FM dial and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVi Charter Schools Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. We're talking preschool this morning with Wendy Ruiz. She is the Early Childhood Education Programs Director for Little iLeaders Preschool. Wendy, before the break, we were talking about when Little iLeaders opened and how you serve kids as young as 6 weeks right up until they head on into kindergarten. Now, as you know, preschool is kind of a competitive space here, especially in the Santa Clarita Valley. So what sets you guys at Little iLeaders apart? What makes your program unique and special?
With our program, it's definitely all about the learner. It's all about the children. And they play hard, they learn hard, and I think that's kind of what makes us unique is it's really up to them. There isn't a special time frame that they have to be toilet learned or a special time frame that they have to do specific tasks. It is really truly up to them. They design their curriculum, they design their experiences.
Okay, so kind of based around what they're interested in, what they want to do. You say that they play hard and they learn hard. How do you mean? Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, they play hard. The more hands-on, the better in our program.
Okay.
So it is a take off your shoes, jump in the mud, experience your day. And we have mud kitchens in the playground. We have definitely outside of the box thinking. I mean, before we moved into this stay-at-home transition, I walked into a classroom and there were children wearing helmets with paintbrushes on them. They were painting with their heads. I mean, that's like the type of program we are, where it's outside of the box, and if the children can think it happens.
That is beautiful. I love that. Now, you mentioned the stay-at-home order, so now I'm assuming that with school campuses and other places of social gathering closed, that just like everyone else, your school program is closed. So with a preschool, you're probably not able to provide services to your kids, right? They've got to stay home?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what's kind of crazy with all of this going on is childcare is considered an essential service. Mm-hmm. So technically, all programs can be open, all not school age, but all preschools and after-school programs can technically be open. We have there are laws that protect us to be open. However, with that being said, those laws also require that we follow social distancing and physical distancing guidelines, which is pretty challenging with children. I mean, you should see some pictures of programs that tried it. So, and technically, we're only supposed to be providing services for those working in essential service programs. So they really limited the amount of children that we're able to provide service for, and then having them social distance is just not, they gave us suggestions of, put tape around so they can only play in the tape area, or give them small individual bags of toys and they can just play with that bag. And it's definitely not who we are and not what children, it wasn't providing the service that those children needed. Yeah. On top of that, we want to do our part to flatten that curve. We wanted to do our part by staying home, allowing our children to be safe and healthy, and not put our families or our staff at risk. So we just had to make that tough decision to stay closed until we are able to open when it's safer.
It's got to be tough not being able to see your kids or do anything like that. And I know that probably presents a little bit of a hardship for our families, but you're absolutely right. I've heard preschool and kindergarten referred to as herding cats. How do you keep 3-year-olds 6 feet apart? That's probably a significant challenge.
Infants and toddlers, I mean, you just can't. They want to be held and they want to hug each other and they want to be social, and I mean that's what it's all about. So yeah, it was a tough decision, but we felt like we made the right one.
Sure, and I know it's got to be tough for our families out there that are used to dropping their kids off at preschool and either heading into the office or doing what they need to do, but their students are now at home. That's a significant change for our kids and for our parents, and so we address the needs. We try to address the needs of our littlest learners. Wendy, what should parents of preschoolers be doing with their kids right now? Now that they're staying home, do you have any resources, games, tips, suggestions that our families can be using to help them guide our preschooler age kids right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most importantly right now, the message we've been trying to send to our families is that just take this time to be with their children. Take this time to still let them be children. A lot of families I know feel that they need to plan and structure and put them in some sort of routine so they don't lose what they had. But right now, it's most important just as adults are stressing out, children are stressing out too.
Sure. And
so they really need to have this time to have some one-on-one interactions, read stories, take them on walks, play games, and don't worry so much about what are they learning or what are they missing out on, but instead more what are they gaining from all of this and that one-on-one time and that social connection with their families. So that's the first message we're trying to get off to our families is just to not stress. There's so much stress going on with everything else. Try not to stress about their day as well and how much you can pack in there.
That's a really good point. So do you have a favorite game or something like that maybe that you like to play with the littles?
We've been suggesting, we did create, and we'd love for families to check it out. We have created a blog on Homeschooling Answers, a website. specifically for children, between 1 and 5 years old. And there's activities on there. Each week we're updating we have art activities, language, music and movement, books that you could read with your children, and they're all kind of focused on some sort of focus topic. This week's focus is Earth Day. So we're doing a lot of different activities focusing on the planet and how they can help to, support the planet, especially with all of this that's going on right now, and how to support each other. So there's a lot available now on YouTube especially, or different resources. But the best thing is just find what you have in your home and let them enjoy that. So, for an example, we will tell parents, give them your Tupperware containers and have them sort them out, or give them, have them help with cooking projects, simple ones like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or helping to empty the dishwasher, or just little things. Include them in the tasks that you do every day, and that's just a really important way to help children, and also supports their learning too, because there's so much learning going on in just everyday tasks.
Sure, they're going to learn by watching us and talking with us as we maybe talk through why we do something, how we do something, why we do it in a specific way. That is really important. And you're right. I'm looking at the website right now, homeschoolinganswers.com, and it is super easy. I just clicked on the 0 to 4 age range button, and there's all kinds of web resources here categorized in family support and play-based curriculum. So you've got a bunch of stuff linked in here, different cool outdoor activities, amazing animals, Earth Day is coming up, and you've got some activities there. Wendy, I know that you are very active with your family, and this time has got to be a little bit difficult for you. Do you have any last suggestions before we go for families to try to stay active with kids of all ages?
Definitely, try to get outdoors as much as possible. I know that's hard right now. If you have a backyard, use that. If you can walk around your neighborhood safely, that is great. Try to, do family board games, anything you can do, even if it's just, and something that I suggest with families too is, I know a lot of families are working from home, and so it's difficult adding in work from home and one-on-one time with their child. So what we tell, especially with younger children, because they need that concrete understanding, is we tell them to use like an egg timer and say, okay, you know what, right now I have 10 minutes that we can play a board game, or we can do something specific with just one-on-one. Set that egg timer, and then when the egg timer goes off, if you need to go back to your work, you go back to your work. But at least you know that you have 10 minutes of uninterrupted time with your child. That's more important than 12 hours of interrupted time.
Yeah.
So even if it's just giving yourself a few minutes of, and we suggest yoga is great. Anything that you can do to kind of de-stress, like going on walks or trying yoga. There's a lot of free yoga websites out there now, or on YouTube. You can do different workouts together, family ones. Put on music and have a dance party. That's always fun. You can play freeze dance. You could, there's a lot of things thinking outside of the box that you can do, but really it's just spend that uninterrupted time. Give them that time that they need, because right now they're most likely, especially the young children, are requiring a little bit more one-on-one time. They might even be, getting a little bit more upset or frustrated easily, and so it's amazing how far just 10 minutes will go.
Yeah, and the kids will learn to look forward to that time. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time and everything you do to support our families. We do have to take care of a couple of things, but stick around. When we come back, we'll talk to the Chancellor of College of the Canyons, Dr. Dianne Van Hook. You're listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Set your kids' creativity with a new twist on fun. Painting with a Twist, where professional artists guide your child during each painting party to create a finished work of art they can proudly hang at home or give to a loved one. Private parties, birthday parties, Friday night teen night, kids camp, daily events all summer. Visit paintingwithatwist.com, Golden Valley and Santa Clarita near Target. Painting with a Twist is your party destination for kids of all ages.
Need to remodel? Hiring an expensive designer isn't in the budget. Here's a secret. Bring your pictures, art, or memorabilia to Fast Frame. They'll show you how to transform any room with simple touches. Their technology lets you see it on your wall before you buy it. Your child's art, a beautiful, valuable original? You deserve professional framing. Fast Frame of Valencia will accent the memories in your life. Fast Frame in the Kohl Shopping Center. Call 291-1325.
As the stay-at-home order continues through the month of April, Burger King is committed to following state and federal safety guidelines when it comes to serving you, the customer. Although in-restaurant dining has closed, pickup and delivery service continues. The current hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can mobile order through the BK app for pickup, or you can use any of the delivery services like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. Burger King on Lyons at the 5 Freeway, now with service at 2 drive-through windows.
This is your moment. Your perception has everything to do how this year is going to work. Many times your past experiences will dictate how you will fight your internal battles. It is not what others perceive about me, it's what I perceive about myself that matters. Remember, you will not be defeated by what others say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you. This is the year of your remodeling, removing, and rebuilding your best self.
For more information regarding service times, visit iElevateChurch.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. We are very excited to welcome in our next guest to the show, Dr. Dianne Van Hook. You know, she began her career in education in 1972 as a junior high school teacher, and she quickly began working in community colleges. I was speaking with her before we came on the air, and she asked me to skip right past her introduction and let's get right to the information that she's got for her students and families. And I don't know, it is a little bit tough because I'm looking at the list of achievements, accolades, everything that you've done, Dr. Van Hook, and even before you came to COC in 1988, you accomplished so much, and just the list of your awards and accomplishments go on and on and on. So, but at your request, we will skip most of those things and just sum everything up by saying Dr. Dianne Van Hook she's a builder, and she's someone who has worked tirelessly to make sure that her students and every student across the state of California has as much access to a higher education as they possibly can. And if anything or anyone gets in her way of doing that, boy, I do not envy them, because she is tenacious. Dr. Van Hook, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate having you.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about what we're doing for our students and our community.
Yeah, it is so important. You know, so many of our kids look toward, and not just kids, a lot of our adults look toward COC to get them started in their career, help continue their career. And now, as so many folks are looking at maybe this being the chance that they need to pivot in their career and maybe head a different direction, they look toward COC. Now, we spoke with Dr. Torres and Dr. Ruiz from your staff a little bit earlier this week, and they told us about how you've been able to keep classes working during this semester with the distance learning model. But as we look forward, in light of the coronavirus, what does COC have planned for summer session? Will it be online? Are we going to have a summer session? What types of courses will be available? How are we doing summer this year, Dr. Van Hook?
Well, we're doing summer robustly this year. We have a wide variety of courses and schedule options that we always try to provide for our students, and that which they've come to expect. So we're working hard to ensure our community has that access. You know, education, training is the game changer for people to be able to make meaningful lives for themselves and obtain jobs that pay well and let them move forward. But I think this summer, even more than ever, that is going to be true. We have 4 sessions scheduled, and we are expecting all classes at this moment to operate as online and remote instruction. So we have classes that run from June 8th to July 11th, June 16th to August 6th, June 22nd to July 25th, and July 14th to August 13th. The classes that are going to begin in a remote instruction format will continue that way, regardless of what happens to the state's safer at home orders. The exceptions could be lab classes that require face-to-face or clinical instruction.
Sure.
There are some colleges in the state, a very few, that reside in communities where there are zero or next to zero instances of COVID-19 identified that are still doing some face-to-face. But it's face-to-face in a different format. It's face-to-face with distance. So you may have, in a cafeteria, a group of 25 students that are 9 feet apart doing something. So we're hoping to learn from some of those colleges about what options we might have if, in fact, the orders, stay-at-home orders, are modified to allow some contact. But right now, we're not planning on that. We are committed to these 4 sessions being online and remote, and we need to be committed so that students can plan. We'll have a wide variety of academic subjects and CTE disciplines. We expect that students will enroll in the courses they need to graduate or transfer or meet their prerequisites. We also expect there will be students from 4-year institutions that are obviously home now and home for the summer, that will enroll in our classes as both a time and cost-saving measure. And it's a great opportunity also for high school students to enroll in our classes because they have their enrollment fees waived, as was approved by the board way back in 1996. They can catch up, they can get ahead, and they can save time. So we think that for our traditional kind of student, there will be a lot of opportunities, but there also will be opportunities for community members who might be out of work and need to enhance their current skill set or develop those new skills so they can slot back into the workforce and move forward. We also have, through our non-credit, which we have renamed School of Personal and Professional Learning, PPL, and we have 40 classes that are offered for free. There is no fee. They include English as a second language, career skills, LinkedIn for business, computer skills, word processing, spreadsheet basics, health, personal trainer certification, Spanish for healthcare workers, and so much more. So we expect a robust level of activity on the online and remote platform.
That is wonderful to hear, and you're doing it in 4 different sessions. You know, I remember when I was in college, we went through the Northridge earthquake back in 1994, and that disaster set me back almost a full year, and I ended up taking 5 years to get my bachelor's degree. It's great to hear that not only are you keeping things moving so that your students can continue with their education, but also giving them opportunities to kind of accelerate things, whether it's through taking several extra summer school courses or get started early in high school. That's amazing. So now let's project forward to next fall after that the summer sessions are over. My son, as I mentioned before, is a high school senior, and a lot of us parents are wondering about that Canyons Promise and actually kind of looking at it and hoping that it's still going to be there. Is the Canyons Promise program still available for students for the fall in 2020?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Great.
We are currently accepting applications for the 2021 year. The application period started in January and then kind of got slugged down with all this dealing with this crisis. So we are urging students that have not yet applied to do so as soon as possible. We're also already seeing and expect a substantial increase in Canyons Promise students this year. We think that about 1,500 students will be accepted into the 2021 cohort. And boy, what a great way to go. When I went to a community college, you know, you kind of had to figure it out on your own and bumble around. And I think the Canyons Promise program is a marvelous alternative. It provides incoming first-time college students for the fall the opportunity to attend tuition-free for 2 years, fall and spring semesters of both their first and second year. The program is designed for first-time college students who enroll full-time. However, they changed the restrictions, and it's no longer restricted to recent high school students. So if you perhaps graduated from high school 3 years ago and went to work and your job has been eliminated or the business closed now and you've never attended college, that means you would still be a first-time, full-time student. So that's an important distinction. It doesn't mean you had to have graduated this June. It means that you had to have graduated and not gone to college yet. Accepted students will begin by enrolling in a one-year sequence of courses for which they have priority registration. Their enrollment and student fees will be paid. They'll have great access to program-specific counselors for counseling appointments. They'll have priority registration for their educational plan. They will receive parking permits or bus passes, career and academic guidance, counseling, career assessment, and a whole long list of great student support resources that are provided by people who really want them to be successful and are passionate about it. They'll have access to our free open educational resources, to peer mentors, and to so many other learning community elements. So we would encourage anyone that thinks they may fit this, and this may be just a true gift and opportunity for them, to visit our website at canyons.edu/student services.
Canyons.edu/student services. I want to make sure that we get that up on our Facebook feed. What a wonderful opportunity, Dr. Van Hook. And now I'm looking at it not just as an opportunity for my son who's a high school senior, but you know, my daughter's a couple years older, but she chose right after high school to go straight into the workforce. And I believe it's today that job that she's got, they're actually having to close down due to the pandemic. And so this is an opportunity for her to go back to school since she's never enrolled before. And like you said, not just tuition, but all of the fees are covered. And then they also get that kind of VIP experience of priority registration and counseling and all those different services to make sure they're successful. That is wonderful. So now with classes continuing online and kids are working from home and doing remote learning with their professors, students always do need support though. You know, there are different levels of support that different kids need. And I know you've always been dedicated to supporting all students. So with all of the current challenges and things like that, how's COC supporting their students during this time where they can't necessarily be on campus?
Well, that's been an interesting process. But this community of committed professionals across all job categories, and both our Valencia and Canyon Country campuses have really pivoted quickly to be able to shift not only the vast majority of courses online and remote modes, but also the support services. For the first time in our 50-year history, we made dramatic moves to be able to reduce the possibility of exposure to the coronavirus. So in just a matter of days, we went from having 25% of our classes offered originally online to about 96% of our classes and all of our support services being online or remote. We were really able to do so because of the coordinated efforts and the dedication of our faculty, our classified staff, especially our institutional technology staff, our tutorial services, and our administrators, as well as, of course, the support of our Board of Trustees and our College Foundation. It's been a truly collective effort, and yet it is a mirror reflection of the commitment and the quality that College of the Canyons has become known for. So we experienced a 242% increase in the number of online tutoring hours that we delivered in just 1 week, from March 30th to April 4th.
That's amazing.
So, and it makes sense.
Sure.
I don't know about you, but when I was a student, especially in a subject that I didn't think I knew thoroughly well, I would not have been one to walk in and ask for help. Asking for help online is a lot less intimidating, and what we have heard from some of our faculty is that students who are participating in faculty office hours online, as well as from our tutorial staff, is that students that would not ask a question before asking the question. And of course, you can't learn unless you figure out what it is you don't know, so you can move from what you know to knowing something more. So that's been really an exciting thing. We purchased some new laptops, pulled in laptops from our laptop carts, and sent an email. Eventually, we did it in phases because, as you know, the supply chain during these times isn't necessarily free-flowing. So some of our computers that we purchased, thanks to support from our foundation, were back-ordered. But now all of our students have received an email as of 10 days ago that if they needed a laptop to be able to help them move forward, that we were doing laptop delivery, and we had a system set up to be able to do that. Our food bank, our bank, continued to do distribution services to our students, and we're working on ways to continue to provide those services, even though supplies are dwindling out there in the grocery stores. We've had, oh my gosh, all of our services, admissions and records, are answering questions from 8 in the morning till 5 at night by responding to emails to the admissions at canyons.edu website. We have video tutorials, remote instruction, and tricks to be able to learn online from IT. Our online counseling appointments are available and being well used. And students can reach our financial aid staff also through email. As I already mentioned, we're doing online tutoring and Canvas support for our students. In the library, the students can still access full-text article databases, streaming media, e-books on the library website. Our Student Health and Wellness Center offers an amazing number of resources on its website, and we all know that not everybody does well staying at home. And if you're a social individual, not being able to physically see somebody across the room can get you down a little bit. So our services, including veterans and our peer advising, are there to help people keep going. You know, when you get into a situation like this, you can either give up or you can get up. And at College of the Canyons, our staff gets up every single day ready to serve our students and keep them going forward. So it's pretty exciting. From the business side, we have our COC Employee Training Institute has moved a number of its courses online: leadership development, Excel, Advanced Mastercam, Beginning SolidWorks, CNC programming, and Certified Supply Chain Professionals. Our SBDC, which can be reached at 866-588-SBDC, is available daily to answer questions and help people get linked up with the various, and by the way, sometimes very confusing, governmental resources that are available.
Yeah.
And then our foundation, through our Chancellor Circle business briefings, is starting a series of virtual business briefings, COVID-19 business assistance programs. The first one is this Friday, tomorrow, from 9 to 10 a.m., and it's talking about the SBA's Economic Injury Disaster Loan, CARES Act, Paycheck Protection Program, and more. And then, if that's not enough, we've got face shields being made in our makerspace.
Wow.
That are per the Henry Mayo specs. We expect to deliver 150 of those. Our nursing program donated extra supplies, from gowns to ear thermometers to sterile gloves to N95 masks.
Dr. Van Hook, that is amazing. I had no idea that you guys provided that much services, even on the regular, let alone during this time. Unfortunately, we do have to get to a break and local and national news stories. It was so wonderful having you join us. We really appreciate it. Stick around. You are listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson, on your hometown station, KHTS.
TG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Hi, Santa Clarita. This is Rosemary with Beyond Harmony Med Spa with some great news about Kurt Stinson. Now, why am I telling you about a plumber? When I had a horrible plumbing situation at my house, Thanksgiving morning, house full of people, of course I called Kirk. He rushed right over, took care of our problem. The prices were so reasonable, I couldn't even believe that I was paying that on Thanksgiving Day. If you need a plumber, Kirk Stinson is the guy to call.
Plumbing by Kirk, 263-6519, or visit plumbingbykirk.com.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Great healthcare just got easier and more convenient in Canyon Country. Facey Canyon Country is now open directly off the Soledad Canyon exit off the 14 freeway. The 37,000 square foot clinic houses Facey Medical Group primary care physicians, pediatricians, and specialists. Facey has easy 24/7 online appointment scheduling for PCPs and PEDS. For more information or to make an appointment, visit facey.com. That's FACEY.com.
KHTS, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 10 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
Millions of Americans will be staying at home longer. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo just announcing an extension of his state's pause, at least until May 15th, even while emphasizing the closures and distancing are having a positive effect, slowing the infection rate. Cuomo also says an army of contact tracing investigators will be needed to identify people who may have been exposed to COVID-19. New York Congressman Max Rose telling Fox News,
we have to make sure that we have testing infrastructure
infrastructures in place. We have to make sure that we have a hospital system in place that is prepared for a second surge, although we all sincerely hope and pray that second surge does not come.
This as the White House prepares to release reopening guidance for states.
The administration's new guidelines are aimed at slowly opening up the nation's economy. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany spoke earlier on Fox and Friends.
We're in a strong place, Brian, and I can assure you that the guidance being put out today is in line with what the experts are saying. It's in line with what the data is showing.
Opening up the economy is ultimately up to the nation's governors and businesses. Banking executives reportedly told the president yesterday that the administration needed to dramatically increase the availability of coronavirus testing before the public would be confident enough to return to work. In Washington, John Decker, Fox News.
The president's holding conference calls with House and Senate lawmakers and governors today. Nearly 22 million Americans have lost jobs in the past month. New claims for jobless benefits topping 5 million last week. The British government just announcing that its nationwide lockdown will continue for at least 3 more weeks. Russia's president is postponing a lavish parade in Red Square that was supposed to mark the 75th anniversary of victory in World War II. America is listening to Fox News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No. Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
A team from the CDC is visiting one of the country's largest pork processing facilities today. That plant is now linked to more than half of South Dakota's confirmed coronavirus cases.
At least 438 employees at the Smithfield processing plant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, tested positive for coronavirus. The plant, which accounts for up to 5% of the nation's pork production, closed indefinitely as its CEO warns of consequences in the meat supply chain, while U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue said from the White House Wednesday.
In the United States, we have plenty of food for all of our citizens.
Another 107 people near the South Dakota plant have also tested positive for coronavirus. The state says 6 people have died, reportedly related to the virus. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
A meat processing plant near Milwaukee will be closed for 2 weeks, while another facility in Missouri is also shut down indefinitely after some employees tested positive. A new idea in Georgia to help hold elections while minimizing possible exposure to the virus.
Georgia's state election board will now allow voters to turn in absentee ballots at drop boxes, avoiding contact with people and not requiring spending money on postage stamps. Those drop boxes can be set up on public property. State officials had been sending request forms for absentee ballots to Georgia's nearly 7 million registered voters, encouraging them to make use of this kind of voting to help keep both themselves and poll workers healthy. The state's primary is now set for June 9th. Eben Brown, Fox News.
A sell-off at times on Wall Street after the latest economic reports. The Dow has been down over 1%, about 200 points, while the Nasdaq's been higher and the S&P fluctuates. I'm Lisa Brady, and this is Fox News.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
You see so much when you look at your child. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. Curiosity that develops into exploring unique passions. A little leader growing every day to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make their mark on the world. At SCVi, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free K-12 charter school gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a customized learning program built around each individual student. As iLEAD's founding school, SCVi combines an immersive approach to traditional subject learning with extracurricular activities including STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. SCVi has the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, with a 10-year proven track record of graduates excelling at top universities. And we're in your backyard, just off the 5 freeway in West Santa Clarita Valley in Castaic. For enrollment information or to learn more about our program, including homeschool options, visit iLeadSantaClarita.org. iLEAD Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
As the stay-at-home order continues through the month of April, Burger King is committed to following state and federal safety guidelines when it comes to serving you, the customer. Although in-restaurant dining has closed, pickup and delivery service continues. The current hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can mobile order through the BK app for pickup, or you can use any of the delivery services like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. Burger King on Lyons at the 5 freeway, now with service at 2 drive-through windows.
Fruit arranged like flowers? What a delicious idea! Edible Arrangements specializes in creating a variety of fresh fruit arrangements overflowing with fresh, hand-designed fruit and filled with strawberries, pineapple, grapes, cantaloupe, honeydew, and seasonal favorites. Made to order in a size you select and ready to eat and enjoy. You can even add chocolate to any arrangement. Edible Arrangements is always fresh, always appropriate, and always appreciated. Order yours today, 253-0052 or ediblearrangements.com. Edible Arrangements is on Soledad near Bouquet Canyon.
City Councilman Bob Keller here. Keep it tuned to 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS, hometownstation.com, for the latest information regarding COVID-19. KHTS will have both national and local news and information during this unprecedented time. For more, go to the KHTS website or the KHTS Facebook page. KHTS is also available online in the free app for iPhone and Android. Continue to social distance, only going out if it's absolutely necessary, and continue to check on friends and family. With your help, we will flatten the curve and come through this stronger than ever.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. And hello to our Facebook Live viewers. We appreciate you joining us. This is Matt Watson, your host. You are listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. You know, I continue to talk to Dr. Van Hook as we went to commercial that last break. And she shared with me not only the amazing services that she talked about on the air, but the classified staff at COC. Check this out. The folks that work at COC during this time, they even set up a GoFundMe page so that they could raise money, and they feeded first responders both at Henry Mayo and at COC's new drive-up COVID testing site. They raised that money to feed them an Easter meal so that they could have a delicious hot meal on Easter Sunday while they weren't able to be at home or with their families. What an amazing staff and great leadership over there at COC. So that was fantastic to hear. I did want to make sure that you guys heard that as well. I'm really excited about my next guest. Rachael is a 4th grade student at Pico Canyon Elementary School here in Stevenson Ranch, and she's here to share with us a book report that she's prepared for us. Good morning, Rachael. How are you?
I'm really good today.
I'm good. Good. That's good news. I'm glad to hear that. So now you go to Pico Canyon Elementary School, and who's your teacher?
My teacher is Mrs. Motter, Janelle Motter.
Oh, okay. And we mentioned you're in 4th grade in Mrs. Motter's class. So, but you're not going to school anymore, are you? You're doing school from home now. Are you and your family doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing great.
Well, that's good to hear. And do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have a little brother. His name is Tyler.
Mm-hmm. And how old is Tyler?
He's 6 years old, and he's turning 7 this year.
Ah, is he doing okay being away from his teacher and his classmates?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And what have you guys been doing for fun to keep yourselves busy and have a good time now that we're all at home?
Well, since we're at home, we go outside more, and we play with my brother's toys, and it's actually, I think it's greater than being at school because there's more things to do at free time.
Oh, wow. Wow, I'm so glad to hear that you're enjoying it. That is terrific news. Okay, so are you ready to give your book report?
Yeah.
Okay, go right ahead.
Good morning, KHTS listeners. Hi, my name is Rachael An, and I'm a 4th grader in Mrs. Motter's class at the Pico Canyon Elementary School in the Newhall School District. I'll be reviewing The Lightning Thief, written by Rick Riordan. It was written on June 23, 2015. This book was about a 12-year-old boy named Percy Jackson who is going to camp, but not just any camp. No, it's Camp Half-Blood. Half-Bloods are demigods whose one parent is a god and the other parent is a mortal. Percy Jackson just found out that his father is the god of the sea, Poseidon. Just as Percy starts to recover from the shock, he is told to go on a quest to find something that is stolen, Zeus's thunderbolt. Percy thinks he will die because he has 0 talent, but at least he has one, sword fighting. Sword fighting was taught by the counselor of the Hermes cabin, also Hermes' son, Luke. Percy is happy about one thing, though. It's that he could go with 2 people. One, Percy's best friend, Grover, who's actually half human and half goat. 2, a strong-hearted girl named Annabelle. Will they succeed, or will Olympus be in grave danger? I guess you'll just have to read to find out. I really enjoyed this book, and others would too, because not only is it full of awesome fiction, you can learn about Greek mythology. Thank you for listening. I hope you read and enjoy this book, The Lightning Thief.
Wow, Rachel, that was terrific. Thank you so much. The Lightning Thief is a great book. Have you read any of the other Percy Jackson books?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Which other ones have you read?
I really remember the titles, but
Okay.
I did read quite a few of them.
Yeah, there's a whole series of them. They're terrific books. Now tell me, one of my favorite books is My Side of the Mountain. Have you ever read that book?
No.
That's a really interesting book. It's about a boy who actually does something kind of sneaky. He runs away from home and he goes to live up in the mountains, and he actually stays there for a really, really long time. It's a great book. I think you might enjoy it. If you want to pick it up, go ahead and enjoy that book. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. We appreciate you joining us today. You and your family stay safe and keep reading, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And what about you? What books have you been reading lately? Have you picked up anything new? This is a great opportunity for us to get caught up on some of our back reading or explore a genre that maybe you haven't had a chance to dip into in the past. And how are you listening to us? I want to know, how many of you are, well, I guess it doesn't really help to take a survey. Can't see people raising their hands, but I know when I'm not at home, I listen on the radio, listen to sometimes 12:20 a.m., sometimes 98.1, depending on which signal is strongest. Do you Facebook Live us? We are available, as I've mentioned, on Facebook Live. If you're at home, you've got your laptop or your phone available, you can just click on KHTS Radio and check the stream out. Here I am, right there. And then you can also listen to KHTS on your Amazon Echo device. Did you know that? Watch this. I'm gonna mess with your Echo right now. You just say, Alexa, play KHTS. Or you can say, Alexa, play 12:20 a.m. And she will pop it right on for you. That's one of the first things I do when I roll out of bed in the morning. Just tell Alexa to put KHTS on, and I start catching up on the news and what's going on. Or you can download our app. Did you know that KHTS has an app? It is free. Just go to the App Store on your iPhone or Android device, download the app, and there you can catch up on all the latest news, all of the website features that we've got on our website, hometownstation.com, are available there on the app, and you can also stream the radio station live regardless of where you're at. I know where my brother lives, for example, gets terrible radio reception, but as long as he's got the Wi-Fi there, he can download the app, and I know he listens to my show every day. So good to talk to you. Good that you can hear from me, Tony. Now, do you remember the philosophy that we talked about a couple weeks ago, love and logic? I tell my own love and logic story. It was a philosophy that that I don't know that I bought into it first, and kind of has one of those tenets that says you can do anything as long as it doesn't cause a problem for yourself or others. And you know, I was raised kind of old school, where it was, you know, what Dad says go. It's my way or the highway. Do as you're told. You know, just be quiet and follow instructions. But you know, as my kids got older, that worked less and less. And I realized that after a while, I needed to go back into those Love and Logic books and take a look and see what they have to say. You can catch a lot of the tips on Love and Logic in some of our show archives on hometownstation.com. Go back and look at some of our shows back in the last couple of weeks in March. We went over a lot of Love and Logic tips for you. But, you know, it's a lot simpler and just as free. There is a free Love and Logic online parenting course right now. They are experts in this philosophy of Love and Logic, which is really beautiful. What it does is it allows us to just get our emotions out of the way. You know how when people push our buttons, whether it's our kids or maybe it's our loved one, they push our buttons and we get really emotionally charged, we get really heated. Love and Logic helps us get that emotion out of the way and deal with things calmly and rationally. And when we do that, they actually give us some tips on how we can kind of move folks into, even when they're emotionally charged, doing the things that we need to do. Again, whether it's our children or our significant other or anyone else, they're just great tips for human interaction. And they are providing that free Love and Logic online course over the next 3 months. You'll have access to 6 modules, and you can download them and view them at your own pace. It's normally a $99 course, and again, they're offering it for free. If you're thinking, nah, what I'm doing is working well, I'm on board with that, it's my way or the highway kind of thing, I'm the parent, what I say goes. Well, trust me, as your kids grow or as you start to interact with other people at work, you're going to want a lot of these tips and understandings that Love and Logic provide. So the URL is really lengthy, so during the commercial break, I will post it on the Facebook Live feed for you guys to view. We also posted the link to the student services at COC. Dr. Van Hook was talking about last break. I was really pleasantly surprised to hear all the services that COC is still providing their students. I had no idea they provided that many services when folks were on campus, let alone the services that they're providing now. And speaking of providing services, there are some of us out there that are stepping into a time of possibility, a time of growth. We're enrolling in some of those classes over there at COC, and you know, there's others of us right now that are really facing some significant challenges, whether we've been affected directly by the health crisis or not. You know, I mentioned my oldest daughter. Her the place she works is shutting down, I believe, starting today. And there are a lot of people out there that are facing need like never before. So if that's you, if you're someone that could use a little hand, you know, our community is always there to help each other. And there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't access that help that you have. SCVi and iLEAD schools during this time where our students are not on campus are providing 2 free meals a day, not just lunch, but breakfast and lunch to all of our students. And by our students, I mean student-aged people. Anyone between the ages of 0 and 18 years old, whether you're enrolled in our iLEAD schools or not, you can stop by and you can pick up 2 free meals, breakfast and lunch, every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. You can head out to the west side of the valley to SCVi, to our campus there in southern Castaic, right off the 126 there, or you can head over to the east side of the valley at iLEAD Agua Dulce. They're actually serving a little bit later, so if you want to sleep in, you can head over to iLEAD Agua Dulce from 10 to noon and pick up food there every day from 10 to noon, or up in the Antelope Valley, any of our iLEAD campuses there, again, 9 to 11 a.m. And I know a lot of our local district schools are doing the same thing. We talked on Monday to Dr. Catherine Kawaguchi from the Sulphur Springs School District, and some of their schools are providing 3 meals a day, so that is fantastic. Check out your local school district's website for more information on where they're serving food, and you can head to whatever location is easiest for you. If you're closest to SCVi, then swing by there and pick up food. Or if it's another local district campus that's closer that's serving food, you can swing by there. Again, you don't have to be enrolled. You just have to be between the ages of 0 and 18. You can go by and pick up a couple of meals to help take care of things, make sure that you're getting everything that you need. And you may be asking, well, I'm over 18, but I need a little help. Well, give our friends at the Santa Clarita Grocery a call. Over on Center Point Parkway, right over there by the William S. Hart School District. Santa Clarita Grocery provides all of your grocery needs. If you call and get registered, they will set an appointment for you. You can swing by, and once a week you drop off your grocery list. And while we're experiencing this social distancing, you don't even have to go inside. You just drop off your list, park the car, hang out for a few minutes. They'll do the shopping for you. Remarkably convenient. They'll bring the groceries to you, and you can bring those back home to your family. So check out Santa Clarita Grocery if that is your need. And if you are a senior citizen in our valley, we've got a senior center that is second to none. They provide just terrific services. We were talking to talking to Mayor Cameron Smythe earlier this week, and he was talking about the proactive stance that the folks at the senior center have taken during this time to make sure that our seniors are well taken care of. They also have a drive-up meal service, so you don't have to worry about even going into the kitchen there. You can drive up and get that hot meal, that hot lunch delivered to you. And if you're not able to get to them, they are still able to get to you. Their Meals on Wheels delivery program is still working. They will bring a hot lunch out to you and also check up and make sure that you're doing okay with everything else. So for more information on those meals, as well as the tremendous services that our senior center is providing, go ahead and call them at 661-259-9444. Now, you do, again, need to be signed up for their different services, but you may be thinking, I've got a parent who or a friend who would qualify for those services but hasn't necessarily signed up. You can call for them and see how they can get some of the needed services that they may have. Again, 259-9444. Call the Senior Center. I also know that grocery stores have special hours for senior citizens so that they can take advantage of that. Check your local grocery store's website for those services. And you know something cool? Do you remember Levar Burton? He really broke on the scene back in I believe it was the late 70s, early 80s with Roots, and then he really became famous for the work that he does with Reading Rainbow. Did you know that he is actually live streaming readings every Friday? And I don't know that anybody reads a book out loud better than Levar Burton. Something special for you and your kids to enjoy. If you don't have kids, check it out. Head on over to Levar Burton's Twitter page. It's very simple, at Levar Burton. Check for that blue check, and every Friday he is live streaming a new book that he is reading. So there's all different kinds of services out there. It is just amazing how Santa Clarita, California, and the United States have really stepped up to help take care of each other during this time. So if you've got a need, there's no reason that it shouldn't be met. So just reach out. We are here to help you out on our website, homeschoolinganswers.com, and whatever your need may be, just reach out. If you need something from your neighbor, let them know. Let them know. That's what they're there for. And I think you'll find that folks are not only willing to help out, folks in this time are excited to help out. People are really, really good. We do have to take a quick commercial break, but you're going to want to stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to take a fun look back at history on this day, featuring George Washington, Kevin Bacon, and 303 flighty congressmen. Now, for more information on how COVID-19 is affecting our valley, go to hometownstation.com and click on the red banner. There you're going to find tips on the economy, health updates, special business hours, and much, much more. You're listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Tucked away in the east side of our valley is the most delicious steakhouse. Steaks cooked to perfection using premium beef only found in the finest restaurants. Burgie's is the place. Steaks, burgers, and so much more. Restaurants come and go in our valley. Burgie's is different. They've been around since 1990, serving steaks, fish, and entertaining the neighborhood locals. Fantastic food, fun, and friends. You'll find them at Burgie's on Sand Canyon, right at the 14 next to the mobile station. Burgie's, it's worth crossing our valley.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker has been ranked the 15th most influential person in the entire Santa Clarita Valley in 2010 by the Santa Clarita Valley Business Journal. When everything is on the line, call the Hacker Law Group.
Coronavirus is spreading here in the United States, and I know all of us are concerned and all of us are affected. I'm Dr. Phil. Concern is understandable, but there's something you can do. Get the facts about practical ways to protect yourself and those you love. Robin and I are endeavoring to follow CDC guidelines each and every day. Clean your hands often. Stay at home if you're sick. Avoid close contact with those who are sick and make sure to cover your coughs and sneezes. The CDC Foundation is a nonprofit organization focusing on immediate and critical needs that help protect our communities. We all have a role to play. As one person, one country, one world, all of us will be the response. Go to www.cdcfoundation.org to learn more about protecting yourself and your community. Thank you.
This is Bradley Gross from Santa Clarita Grocery. Santa Clarita Grocery serves fresh groceries to families, individuals, and those experiencing homelessness. At Santa Clarita Grocery, out of every $1 donated, a full 99 cents goes directly to the needs being addressed. As an all-volunteer-led organization, we operate on a 1% overhead, receiving no government funding for our operations in the community, resulting in us being one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. If you're looking to support the good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery. What is donated is specifically kept in the Santa Clarita Valley, helping over 3,000 families, including 5 other community charities. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or visit us on social media or call us at 425-7575. That's 425-7575.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCVi may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. You're listening to Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers, and I'm your host, Matt Watson. And for the next few minutes, I am also your history teacher. You know, that was my original dream, wanted to be a history teacher. Ended up starting that career in elementary school and then moving into English. I did have the opportunity to teach a little bit of history, but I am here to teach you a lot of history, and I think we're going to have some fun too. So settle in, open up your notebooks, have your pencil ready, because yes, most of this will be on the test. Now first, we are celebrating a few national holidays today. You know I love the holidays. Today is National High Five Day, celebrated on the third Thursday every April, but this year we're only celebrating with members of our immediate household and only if both of us are non-symptomatic. So enjoy National High Five Day safely. It is also National Eggs Benedict Day. What a great idea. Sure, you've had breakfast already, but have you had brunch? Why not poach a couple of eggs and enjoy the rest of our show today with some béarnaise sauce? And it is also National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. I'm not kidding. Today is National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day, and I am so proud of all of you because you've been celebrating this holiday season for the last 3 weeks, haven't you? I've got the best students in the world. And now, it is time for this date in history. It is April 16th, and on April 16th, 1503, Christopher Columbus left Panama, sailing for home. On his way, he was shipwrecked in Jamaica. When contacted for a quote, Columbus said, "I can think of a worse place to be shipwrecked." On this date in history, 1632, Albrecht von Wallenstein was appointed Supreme Commander of the Holy Roman Empire forces. Soon after, however, he realized he'd been duped, as the Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. On April 16th, 1705, Sir Isaac Newton, previous to this date known as Isaac Newton, he was knighted by Queen Anne of England at Trinity College. Now, during the ceremony, Queen Anne dropped her handkerchief, prompting Newton's refusal to pick it up, claiming, it's pointless. It's bound to drop again soon enough. It's a gravity joke. On April 16th, 1777, New England's Minutemen, also known as the Green Mountain Boys, routed British regulars at the Battle of Bennington. Yeah, take that, Redcoats. On April 16th, 1789, George Washington, having been elected our nation's first president, left Mount Vernon, Virginia, for the presidential inauguration in New York City. And Martha Washington, of course, sent him with a shopping list. On April 16th, 1889, comedian and actor Charlie Chaplin was born in London, and coincidentally, the Chaplin family movies of his birth were recorded on silent film and just a little bit too fast. On April 16th, 1935, Babe Ruth played his first Major League Baseball game for the Boston Braves, and yes, I know you're wondering it, he did hit a home run, and yes, he was also able to consume 3 hot dogs during his trip around the bases. April 16th, 1940, baseball's first ever televised game was on WGN-TV. It featured an exhibition between the Chicago White Sox and the Chicago Cubs. Also in 1940, we have the first recorded incidents of the phrase, "Oh yeah, wait till next year." April 16th, 1946, on opening day for baseball in Boston, the Boston Braves played the Brooklyn Dodgers, and the newly painted stadium seats had not yet dried when guests settled in and took a seat. The Boston Braves management was forced to pick up the cleaning tab for everyone in attendance. No joke, that all really happened. April 16th, 1947, the world's first zoom lens was demonstrated in New York City. The inventor demonstrated that you could see New Jersey clearly from his Manhattan studio. It would take 3 decades, however, for the invention to catch on, because who wants to look at New Jersey? April 16th, 1990, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a ban on school dances in the Bible Belt town of Purdy, Missouri. Refusing defeat, Kevin Bacon moved to the heavily wooded mountains surrounding the town and vowed to fight as a self-proclaimed freedom dancer. April 16th, 1991, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev began a historic visit to Japan. Japanese citizens were instantly enamored by the striking beauty of Gorbachev's port wine-stained birthmark. Huh? Yeah, that one's for our Facebook Live viewers only. April 16th, 1992, the U.S. House Ethics Committee listed 303 current and former lawmakers who had overdrawn their House bank accounts. And in a striking bipartisan move, all 303 lawmakers responded in unison saying, "What do you mean overdrawn? We're Congress." And in 1999, Wayne Gretzky, hockey's great one, retires. And on April 16th, 2020, millions of Americans stayed home, and yet they still did their work. They got a great education. They remained safe and healthy, and they flattened that curve. Keep it up, everybody. You're doing a great job. You're doing a terrific job. We are going to take a commercial break, but please stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be talking to our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Christina DeBray, and she's going to be joining us to talk about how people are handling the stress and coping. For more information on how COVID-19 is affecting our valley, go to hometownstation.com and click on the red banner. There you're going to find tips on the economy, health updates, special business hours, and much, much more. You are listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
The City of Santa Clarita is working closely with the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health to monitor the coronavirus COVID-19. On March 13th, the City of Santa Clarita issued a local emergency declaration in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Due to the stay-at-home order, the Santa Clarita events like Thursdays at Newhall and the Cowboy Festival have been put on hold for the safety of the community. For information, go to santa-clarita.com. For important updates, visit the emergency blog at santaclaritaemergency.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Palucki. As an essential service, we're staying open to reduce emergency room visits and support small business. In response to the state of national emergency, I'd like to assure you that I'm doing my part to slow the spread of COVID-19 by disinfecting all contact surfaces for each patient, using gloves and hand sanitizer before adjusting each patient, keeping doors open and electronically checking in patients, and staggering patient visits to ensure the minimal 6-foot distancing. I also recommend boosting your immune system. For everyone staying at home, please download our free Healthy Living COVID-19 program at drpalucki.com and the KHTS Coronavirus Experts page. And if you, a family member, or employee is experiencing neck, shoulder, back pain, neuropathy, or migraine, and feel chiropractic could help, please reach out to me. The first visit is free, and for small businesses, we will treat anyone you refer for credit with your company. Call 661-753-9340 to schedule an appointment. That's 753-9340. Let's keep common health problems out of the emergency rooms so our medical doctors can focus on the coronavirus crisis.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker has been ranked the 15th most influential person in the entire Santa Clarita Valley in 2010 by the Santa Clarita Valley Business Journal. When everything is on the line, call the Hacker Law Group.
Coronavirus is spreading here in the United States, and I know all of us are concerned and all of us are affected. I'm Dr. Phil. Concern is understandable, but there's something you can do. Get the facts about practical ways to protect yourself and those you love. Robin and I are endeavoring to follow CDC guidelines each and every day. Clean your hands often. Stay at home if you're sick. Avoid close contact with those who are sick and make sure to cover your coughs and sneezes. The CDC Foundation is a nonprofit organization focusing on immediate and critical needs that help protect our communities. We all have a role to play. As one person, one country, one world, all of us will be the response. Go to www.cdcfoundation.org to learn more about protecting yourself and your community. Thank you.
As the stay-at-home order continues through the month of April, Burger King is committed to following state and federal safety guidelines when it comes to serving you, the customer. Although in-restaurant dining has closed, pickup and delivery service continues. The current hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can mobile order through the BK app for pickup, or you can use any of the delivery services like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. Burger King on Lyons at the 5 Freeway, now with service at 2 drive-through windows.
I'm Christina DeBray, licensed marriage and family therapist, your Santa Clarita Valley trauma and grief specialist. The coronavirus and the new stay-at-home orders have changed our lives significantly. On behalf of KHTS 98.1 FM, AM 1220, hometownstation.com, here's a tip to help your children learn to regulate their anxiety. Teach your kids a quick breathing exercise to bring themselves to a place of calm. Inhale for 7 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 7 seconds for a total of 7 times. It's helpful to do this together as a family activity, but can also be used individually. Try this first when they are already calm, and then ask them to practice during various emotional points throughout the day. Afterwards, ask them if they notice anything different. Stay safe, stay at home, and let's flatten the curve. I'm Christina DeBray, licensed marriage and family therapist, your Santa Clarita Valley trauma and grief specialist.
It's never been so easy to have a great night out. Whether it's a date night or girls' night out, experience Pinot's Palette in Valencia or Encino. Order your favorite drink from the bar and paint your very own masterpiece. No art experience needed. Local artists make it easy for you. So you can paint, sip, and listen to great music while creating a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Fun, relaxing, and memorable. Pinot's Palette. To book your party, go to pinotspalette.com. That's pinotspalette.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. We are also available on our Facebook live stream. So if you've got your computer in front of you, head on over to Facebook Live and you can see us here in the studio. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. We're also continually curating sources for you as you continue on this homeschooling journey with your kids, working from home. You can build an entire curriculum or supplement what your schools are sending by going to homeschoolinganswers.com. You can check out the web resources that we have. We're kind of weeding through everything for you because there's a lot of resources out there. We're very, very thankful for that. But it can be overwhelming trying to figure out which ones are the right resources. So go ahead and check out homeschoolinganswers.com. And if you don't find what you need, shoot us an email at homeschoolinganswers@ileadschools.org. Now, the website is .com, the email is .org, so don't confuse the two. If you're not finding what you need at homeschoolinganswers.com, then you're going to email me at homeschoolinganswers@ileadschools.org. Let us know what you need. Let us know what you're struggling with. Let us know what you're enjoying. And we will get right to getting everything up there that you need. I also just found out, we were talking before the break about the food services being provided around the valley, and that is so valuable. Well, tomorrow, Friday, the SCVi Cafe will not only be providing breakfast and lunch for your kids for tomorrow, but the SCVi Cafe staff will also be sending home additional packaged meals to help get families through the weekend. So tomorrow when you swing by SCVi, you'll not only be able to pick up food for your kids for tomorrow, but packaged for the weekend. So that is great news. Thank you, SCVi. We appreciate it. We appreciate the folks at the cafe there. Now, we are joined by Christina DeBray. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist with a remarkable story of resilience and determination. She is the embodiment of grit. She is also a trauma and resilience specialist. So not only can she get herself through just about anything, she can help get you through as well. Such an important resource during times like these. Christine is a graduate of California State University at Northridge and Pepperdine University. She practices here in Valencia. She's studied extensively, including treatments such as EMDR, trauma, phobias, performance enhancement, attachment disorder, suicide prevention, grief, and child and adolescent interventions. She's got more than 18 years of speaking experience, which is remarkable because she's still very, very young. She works with medical professionals, organizations, patients, schools, parents, and business professionals. Christina, good morning. Welcome back. Christina, are you there?
You know, she
Sorry,
should.
I'm here.
There we go.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. It's good to have you. No, that's okay. That's okay. It's good to have you, Christina. Welcome back.
Yes, good to talk to you again.
So we've been talking this week about coping, right? Because this is no longer an oh my gosh kind of trauma. This is something that we're settling into for the long haul. We talked about coping with the long-term trauma that is this pandemic. We talked about short-term trauma, like when we had our wildfires and the school shooting, unfortunately, back in November. And then the complex trauma that affects us when these things start to pile up, when we've got multiple traumas, right? Whether it's still dealing with the wildfires and then the pandemic comes, or if I've got other issues going on in my life. and different traumas affecting us at the same time. Now, yesterday you shared 3 great strategies on how people can proactively deal with trauma. But I have noticed that a lot of us, and I might be guilty of it myself, oftentimes one of the coping mechanisms that I use is to just kind of put my head down and keep moving forward, just kind of like it's not there. I don't want to say that I deny it, although there are some folks that do that. I just kind of just move on, right? Or some folks can just get into the attitude of ho-hum, let's get dinner cooking, and just follow the routine, and almost ignore that trauma is there. And it seems to get us by, but does that kind of blocking of the trauma, does that work long term? Is that okay if we do that, to just kind of ignore or pretend that it's really not that big of a deal?
Well, so there's a few different things we can talk about here. So the 3 different things that I'm really seeing going on from a lot of different people are denial, suppression, and repression. So denial is a coping mechanism, and it is helpful in the short term to help us adjust to difficult times. So any of these defense mechanisms, if we were to not have them at all, it would just unravel us psychologically, right? It would be too hard. So it's like all those cars getting on the freeway, it would have nothing to do, right? So when we do these defense mechanisms, it's like opening up a side road. Like instead of going down the 5 freeway, you're going down the old road. Okay? So they can be helpful for short periods of time. Any of these can be helpful for short periods of time. And it can help us to unconsciously absorb information and give us time to integrate information and acclimate to circumstances. So suppression is when we force unwanted information out of our awareness. So we are consciously choosing not to indulge in a conscious thought.
Okay.
And then repression is what we call dissociative amnesia. It's similar to suppression, but it's unconsciously forgetting or blocking something unpleasant or distressing. So this is when you think about people who have childhood abuse, and they have repression of it, and then they have no memory of it happening. So that can be addressed later that's a whole other conversation, with therapies like EMDR, and in some cases hypnotherapy, where you can uncover these memories. So all of these in the short term are really helpful, right? Because it helps us cope and stay alive and stay functioning. And the problem is that if we sustain these coping mechanisms, then we start to have the same problem. Just like we talked about traffic jams on the freeway, then we start getting traffic jams on the side roads, right? So if the old road's blocked off, the 5 freeway's blocked off, every off-ramp is blocked off, and, it's one of those times where you're literally parked on the freeway, and you could be there for days. And so this can happen to our minds and our information processing system. And you can start to see signs of how this is. So you might notice having out-of-body experiences. You might notice asking yourself, is this real? Is this a dream? You might notice it seems like things are foggy or in a cloud, or everything might appear far away or unclear. You might start to get more forgetful about things. Hey, did I turn the oven off, or did I just think about turning it off? Okay. You might notice that it's harder to control your emotions, right? Like you might have almost like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of situation going on, where on one hand you're fine, on the other hand you're super snappy. Okay, this is when these exist on a scale, And it can start out really small and then get progressively bigger and bigger. And it's just that concept of a frog in the pot of boiling water. This is how issues start. The average time that people wait to seek services from the time of the start of problems is 8 to 10 years, which is really sad.
Yeah.
And so then that can develop into more complex, layered problems. People can develop secondary issues, like they are saying right now that like alcohol sales are at an all-time high, right?
Yeah.
Where, okay, it's nice to have a glass of wine here or there, but when you're drinking 12 glasses of wine a day, that's a problem, okay? Yeah. And it's a way of numbing. So one of the positive ways that we can cope with this is through a concept called sublimation, okay? So real-world example of sublimation, let's say you're a super aggressive person and you like blood and guts, okay? And maybe you're getting into fights with people or whatever. So you can sublimate that, and maybe you can become a very successful surgeon who's able to put all that aggressive energy into precision and working very carefully with your patients. Sublimation is, I'm feeling really stressed out, so I'm going to organize my entire house. Okay? So it's taking that energy and transforming it into something productive.
So channeling something that might be disturbing or troubling me into something positive.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
So, but even that, just like we can be addicted to substances, we can be addicted to staying busy. And that can be a response to trauma as well. So it's important what we want to do right now is increase our holding capacity, right? So just like when you go and get allergy shots, right, you start off with the tiniest dose, and you keep doing that and increasing the dose over and over, and then that's how people they can recover from their allergies. So same with emotions in difficult circumstances, that we give yourself, hey, I can't deal with the overwhelm of thinking about, coronavirus, and maybe, the color red is upsetting because it's everywhere. So maybe just first look at, find something red in your house, and it gives you some mild anxiety, and then focusing on sitting with that. Hey, I'm noticing this pair of shoes is red, and I'm just noticing it, and I'm noticing how it's sitting on the carpet. So mindfulness and slowly exposing ourselves to things so that we develop a bigger container of being able to tolerate information. So now, by no means am I saying go and watch the news all the time, because that's going to keep your stress response engaged. But just in general, some people are so overwhelmed that they're sleeping the entire day. They are huddled in a corner. They are very depressed. They are dissociating the entire day. And that's when it's a problem. And, that's when it's a big problem. And, also as a reminder, there are a lot of resources out there. This is why we're talking about all this stuff on the radio and having these resources out on YouTube and social media. And there are professionals out there who are still available and able to help.
That is fantastic. Speaking of which, I know that you are one of them, and we want to make sure that our guests have your contact information if they need any support. So these coping mechanisms, they're there to protect us kind of in the short term, like during that sudden trauma. But if we rely on those short-term coping mechanisms too long, they can become unhealthy. So as we continue to deal with this and other issues in our lives, people are going to need support. Whether it's to get through this time or once we get on the other side, people are going to need help processing that. Christina, how can folks get a hold of you to help them work through their trauma, their stress, life's stuff? How do they get a hold of you?
So the best way to get a hold of me is to call my office phone number. It's 661-513-4857. Again, that phone number is 661-513-4857. 513-4857, or they can go to my website. That's www.ChristinaDeBray.com. That's www.Christina with a K, Debray, D as in dog, E as in elephant, D as in boy, R as in Roger, E as in elephant, E as in elephant.com.
Fantastic. Christina, I want to thank you so much, as always, for your help. We look forward to talking to you again next week. And if, as we start to look forward, and we were talking with Dr. Dianne Van Hook earlier today about looking at the fall semester at COC, if you've got younger kids and you are looking at possibly making a change for the fall semester heading into next school year, and you've been listening to us, you're maybe interested in checking out iLEAD or checking out SCVi or one of our other iLEAD campuses, you can head over to our website. SCVi's website is iLEADSantaClarita.org. We have a fully online school. If you're enjoying this distance learning program, you can check us out at iLEADonline.org. Or on the east side of the valley, if it's closer to you, check out iLEADAguadulce.org. That is all the time that we have for today. I want to thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank our guests, Wendy Ruiz, Director of ECE Programs at Little iLeaders Preschool, Chancellor of College of the Canyons, Dr. Dianne Van Hook, and Rachael from Pico Canyon Elementary School, as well as our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Christina DeBray. Join us again tomorrow and every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. You're listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson, and this is your hometown station, KHTS. See you tomorrow.